need to kill my server because I'm going to copy part 3 to 4. You guys are watching me do behind the scenes work. So unprofessional. Alright, so I'm going to close 3, open 4. Alright, so we added our other route. It just returned a JSON object. So I'm going to run. This keyboard is so loud. My son played a joke on me, I think, with, "Buy that, Dad, it's awesome." So it's running. We go to the front end. Remember, we got our count 0 success is true. We just sent back a JSON object. Well, let's attach this to actually get data. So how do I do that? Well, I could either, every time somebody hits this route, I could open that file, read it in, and basically do a costly operation every time. Or I can write a class that'll kind of be our back-end database right now. So I'm going to say class books or bools, and we need a constructor, and pass in self. And so in the constructor we could automatically say self.books is equal to, let's call it book dictionary is equal to, or what is it equal to? Well, I need to open it up first. And so I can make you pass in the file name. We're just going to assume we know it. So I'm going to say with open books.json as F for file. So this creates a code block. So that's inside this code block, the file is open and exists. In fact, I should say for reading. So I can say data is equal to f.read. So when this block is done running, file gets closed, this all gets closed and goes away, but data still exists. So now I can say this reads the whole file in. So self.books dictionary is equal to json.loads. Wait a minute, where's that coming from? Well, we better import it. So this now we have the capability. JSON.loads takes data, which in this format it's just a string. It's nothing but a string. It's not a dictionary, a data structure, it's a string. So we can read it in, but to turn it into an actual dictionary, we need JSON.loads. Just like if you want to write a dictionary out to a file, you need JSON.dumps. Okay, so when we create an instance of books, the books file gets loaded, and we'll say get by ISBN self. And then we got to pass in an ISBN. Okay, and then, well, if I want to use an ISBN to look up a book, how do I do that? Well, in my file, I have a square bracket here, so it tells me it's a list. And a list of what? Well, a list of objects. So there's a butt ton. There's 6,000 lines of whatever. So I know I got a lot of books to look for. So if I cruise down here somewhere, get a random ISBN. These feel like they're like made up names. Learn Windows PowerShell in a month of lunches. Seriously? Okay. Anyway, so if to find a book, I need to loop through every object until the ISBN key equals the value I pass in. So get by ISBN, and we'll make this default to say equal none, so that you can do some testing for it later if you want. But I'm going to say for book in self.books dictionary, and so remember, I don't need .items or the key comma value because this is a list. If you look at the top, it's a list and then of objects, so we can just loop over it All right, so then at every instance we have a book object, we can say if book sub ISBN is equal to my ISBN that I passed in. Well then, let's return the book. Okay. Then down here, we don't need an else or anything. If we get down here, we'll just return none. Empty. Unsuccessful. So when this page loads, I need to run this. I need to make this accessible by everybody. How do I do that? Well, if I run it down here, it'll only be available down here. Dang it. So I can make it global. I'll just say books is equal to, let's call this books helper, or books data, I don't know. Books is equal to an instance of books data. I don't like this. But anyway, now books is in the global scope, and then in my route book I can say global books, so then we always know we're looking at the global books, and in case something weird like we define another books within the method. But this doesn't pass anything back for us to look for a book, does it? So how do I do that? There's a couple ways. We could use print request.args, or we could use what we learned in class where we pass in string, and then we'll say this is, let's call it an ISBN, that's fine. So this is Flask syntax that says expect a string, and when you see something on the end of their URL, assume it's an ISBN. That should be a string, but that lets us pass a variable into this book function. And before we actually search for books, let's just return it and see if it's working. So comma ISBN. Okay, save it and go to the front, hit refresh. We're going to get an error. Take it doesn't error. Oh, it's returning. What is it returning? Does it have ISBN in it? Oh, we're running the wrong one. Control C. And that's my problem. No, we're not running the wrong one. Ah, invalid syntax. Okay, so if book is equal to, I'm assigning it. That's because it's 11 at night. So testing for equality, not assigning. Return the book, else return none. All right. I thought I had debugger set on, so that should change whenever I save the file. Return. So this is not found. Why was it not found? That's what I was expecting to happen. Because we need to send it an ISBN. So let's go get us a real ISBN. Let's not make it the first one. All right. So then we'll put book ISBN. Ah, so now it found the route, and we just sent back the ISBN. All right, I'm going to kill this video here, and then I'll see